Have you ever wondered where the idea of the devil, that ultimate embodiment of evil, actually comes from? For many of us, the image of a horned pitchfork-wielding figure is instantly recognizable. But what if I told you that this concept, so central to many Abrahamic religions like Christianity and Islam, is actually a foreign import in many traditional African spiritual systems? Let us dive into a fascinating journey across the continent to understand how the concept of evil was perceived before these influences arrived. Before we start, it's crucial to remember that Africa is not a monolith. It's a vast continent with thousands of distinct cultures and spiritual beliefs. So we'll be looking at a few specific examples to illustrate a broader pattern. Let's begin in West Africa with the Yoruba people of Nigeria. In the traditional Yoruba belief system, there isn't a single all-powerful figure of pure evil who opposes the supreme creator, Olodumare. Instead, they have what are known as Orishas, divine spirits who represent various forces of nature and aspects of human life. One of the most misunderstood Orishas is Eshu, often mistakenly equated with the devil by early missionaries. But Eshu is far from being a figure of absolute evil. Eshu is a trickster, a messenger of the gods, and a guardian of the crossroads. His role is to test humanity, to create challenges that force us to grow, and to ensure that sacrifices and prayers reach the other Orishas. He embodies chaos and order, mischief and wisdom. He might trip you up if you're arrogant or dishonest, but he also rewards humility and respect. Think of him less as a source of evil, and more as a cosmic enforcer of balance and a catalyst for personal development. Equating Eshu with the devil is a fundamental misunderstanding of his complex and essential role in maintaining cosmic harmony. He isn't an enemy of the divine. He's an integral part of its mechanism. Right next door, geographically speaking, are the Igbo people of Nigeria. Their traditional spirituality is also complex and doesn't feature a singular satanic figure. The Igbo believe in a supreme creator, Chakwu, and a pantheon of lesser deities called Alusi. So where does misfortune come from? It's often attributed to several sources: angry or neglected ancestors, offended nature spirits, human actions like witchcraft or breaking a taboo, or simply a person's predetermined destiny, their kai. The concept of a Jomuo, which translates to evil spirits, exists, but these aren't legions serving a master devil. They are often chaotic, malevolent forces or ghosts of people who lived wicked lives. The focus isn't on a grand cosmic battle between good and evil, but on maintaining balance and right relationships with the spirit world and the community. If something bad happens, the question isn't why is the devil attacking me, but rather what is out of balance. What taboo has been broken? Which spirit needs to be appeased? The solution lies in divination and ritual to restore harmony, not in fighting a singular source of all evil. Now let's travel southeast to Malawi and look at the Chua people. Their worldview also lacks a devil equivalent. They believe in a remote creator god, Chuta, who is generally benevolent but distant. The more immediate spiritual forces are the Mizimu, the spirits of the ancestors. These ancestral spirits are the primary guardians of morality and tradition. For the Chua, misfortune, illness, or disaster are often seen as a sign that the ancestral spirits are displeased. Perhaps someone in the community disregarded a tradition, showed disrespect to an elder, or acted selfishly. The Mizimu aren't evil. They are custodians of the moral order, and their displeasure is a corrective measure to bring the community back in line. The other major source of harm is human witches, or emphatai, who use magic out of jealousy, greed, or malice. So evil for the Chua is a very human problem, rooted in social discord and malevolent intent, not the work of a cosmic supervillain. Similarly, the Yao people, who live in Malawi, Mozambique, and Tanzania, traditionally held beliefs that centered on a creator god and ancestral spirits. Before the widespread influence of Islam, their understanding of evil was not tied to a figure like Shaitan or the devil. Misfortune was attributed to displeased ancestors or to human acts of sorcery. The arrival and adoption of Islam introduced the concept of Shaitan, but this was layered on top of existing beliefs. In many syncretic practices, Shaitan might be invoked to explain certain types of misfortune, but the foundational understanding of evil as a disruption of social and ancestral harmony often remains. So what does this all mean? In these traditional African frameworks, and many others across the continent, evil is not an external, independent force embodied by a single entity. Instead, it is often understood as a disruption of balance. It can be caused by human error, social conflict, disrespect for nature, or neglecting one's ancestors. The focus is on restoration, on healing relationships within the community and with the spirit world. This is a profound departure from the dualistic good versus evil battle that defines much of Abrahamic theology. The introduction of the devil concept during colonial and missionary periods had a massive impact. It often involved a process of demonization, where powerful and complex local deities like Eshu were deliberately mislabeled as demonic to discredit the traditional faith and make conversion easier. This wasn't just a theological disagreement. It was a tool of cultural erasure. It flattened a rich and nuanced spiritual landscape into a simplistic binary of a single true God versus a false devil. This reframing had real-world consequences. It created new anxieties and fears, shifting the cause of suffering from correctable social imbalances to the attacks of an all-powerful, evil being. It changed how people saw their own heritage, casting ancient traditions and revered deities in a sinister light. Understanding this history is not about saying one belief system is better than another. It's about recognizing the diversity of human spirituality and respecting the integrity of different worldviews. The idea of a singular devil is a powerful one, but it's a specific cultural and religious construct. For many African traditions, the universe was simply never that black and white. The focus was on balance, community, and the intricate dance between the human and spirit worlds. It is a perspective that invites us to look for the cause of problems not just in some external evil, but also within our own actions and relationships. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration. If you found this topic as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into culture and history. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.